When it comes to choosing a chip, should it be full fat or should it be a light chip? The results might surprise you. At the time of this recording, I've been a physiologist for over 30 years, and nutrition is probably one of the most misunderstood categories under the sun because of the power associated with marketing. On Monday, apples are good. By Tuesday, apples are bad. Bananas are good. By Wednesday, they have too much sugar. Eating red meat's good because it's high in iron. By Friday, eating red meat is bad for you because it's acidic by nature. I mean, I could continue to go through all of the things. If you've been around as long as I have, you probably remember when marketing was the pork industry, the other white meat was going against the red meat of the cattle world, trying to partner up with the chicken. It's just crazy if you think about marketing over the years. For the sake of this video, I want to come back to the question I get quite often. If I want to have a bag of potato chips, small snack bag with a sandwich at a sandwich shop, should I go with the fat-free, should I go with the light, or should I go with the regular chip? And the answer 100% every single time, go for the full-fat potato chip. And here's the reason why. You've already made your decision that you're going to eat a chip. I'm not here to advocate and say that chips are healthy. That is not my declaration here today. However, I enjoy chips. Whenever I have a sandwich, I always have chips. So we have to kind of be in an agreement at the beginning of the conversation. You've already made up your mind that you're going to have a chip. Well, why would we want to go with the full fat versus the low fat or the no fat? And that's because of the content of fat. I know that sounds like using the word too many times in a sentence, but it's not. The only two macronutrients that'll satisfy hunger is protein and fat. So this is a little trick that we use, particularly in our weight loss division. If I get you to eat something that has high quality fat, I'm not saying a chip is made out of avocados or anything that's what we would normally consider a high quality fat, but having the oil in the chip, having a regular full fat potato chip is going to satisfy hunger, which means you'll eat less. This is just a simple little trick. How do you satisfy hunger? Make sure that the food that you eat has both protein and fat in it. So think about it. When you're adding a full fat chip, now this is where portion control obviously is key, because there is a delayed mechanism in your brain on when you have satisfied hunger and when the message is conveyed from the belly that you're actually full. This is why you notice, like on Thanksgiving, we can have a tendency to overeat. By the time we recognize that we're full, some of us are miserable because we've overeaten. We can start to feel it in our belly because there is a delayed response. So when it comes back full circle, when in doubt, always go with the full fat of everything that's available. Always, 100% of the time. Now, what I always like to add as a caveat to this is try to choose items that are made from their original source. So for example, there's some potato chips that are out there that still have the skin attached. Well, the skin in a baked potato is where the nutrients are at. Everything that's in the belly of a white potato is void of nutrients. The nutrients are in the skin. Same thing is going to apply to the chip. The more it's going to be in its natural in the skin, or it's going to be a normal heavy oil. Now, again, we're talking high quality oils. That's where you can get a little bit more selective on the bag. But when the question comes in, should I eat a full fat potato chip or a fat free or a light? The answer will always be, we want to make sure that you go with the full fat, because you're going to satisfy hunger. You're going to make sure that because you're satisfying hunger, it will ensure that you're eating less. It's a win-win-win. I don't know about you, but regular potato chips taste 1,000 times better than a light or a fat-free. So now you get better taste, you satisfy hunger, and it's a win-win. The other thing to keep in mind as well, and this is just a suggestion, what I would recommend is if you're going to do like a sub sandwich, take the bread off, or at least take half of the bread off. I know it may not be very romantic to, eat a sub with a knife and a fork, but you think about it, just economizing your calories. If you really enjoy the chip, which I do, I'll always do a sub sandwich without the bread, and then I do chips. That's just my choice. Now, for some of you, you may have a high sensitivity to breads. By the time you eat your sub and then you have the potato chip, even though it might have some meat and have some other condiments on it, you're going to be sound asleep in 20 minutes because you're going to be food drunk. You're going to get a huge insulin spike. So just a suggestion on how to make that day that you're enjoying a sub with some chips, how to make a little bit, I guess I could say, have less of an impact, not make you feel sleepy and lethargic, and more importantly, help you enjoy what you're eating. I think life's too short not to enjoy potato chips, full-fat ice cream. You can apply it to every category that's out there. If you lift up a pint of Haagen-Dazs ice cream, feel how heavy it is compared to sorbet. Sorbet is very light. What's the difference? The ingredients, protein and fat. So you're always going to get a lower glycemic response eating a Haagen-Dazs pint than you are a pint of sherbet. So just always keep that in mind. Always go do what we call the weigh test. Pick up a loaf of bread. If it's heavy, it's low glycemic. You pick up a loaf of bread and it's light, it's high glycemic. Sorbet, high glycemic. Ice cream, low glycemic. Just use the weigh test. If it's heavy, it's going to be considered low glycemic, which means less of an insulin spike. I hope this video has cleared up some I guess, misinformation that's floating around out there. However, if I've created any questions, I want you to feel comfortable and send me an email. contact@coachrobb.com. Every day here on YouTube, we do answer your questions, so please like, subscribe, and turn on the notifications if you haven't done so already. Like I said, every day we answer your questions here on YouTube. I want to thank you for your time today, and we certainly look forward to seeing you tomorrow.